looking at a mid to late 1980s Mercedes V8 with the Bosch CIS fuel injection. This particular system is called KE-Jetronic, and you can recognize KE-Jetronic as opposed to K-Jetronic by this little black box over here. It's called the EHA valve right there. If you see that little black box, you know you have KE-Jetronic. If you have a box right up front here with a couple lines going into it, as I show you in this image, then you have K-Jetronic. That's the older system from 1976 to 1985. Over the past few years, I now get more emails concerning this fuel injection system than any other issue, even over diesel issues. People are picking up these old gas V8s, particularly the SL, the R107, and they're trying to get these running with this type of fuel injection. They're having all kinds of problems. Now, it used to be 20 years ago, when I would troubleshoot a problem with one of these engines, one of the last things I would do would be do a fuel system test using a pressure tester like you see here. You have to hook it up to the fuel injection system, and then you're going to go through a sequence of reading pressure. Well, now, 20 some years later, the very first thing I do when troubleshooting one of these engines is I do a fuel pressure test. It's gone from being the last to being the first and most important thing to do when troubleshooting. I just got an email the other day. Somebody says, I got this 560 SL, it's running too rich. I don't know, what do you think's wrong with it? Well, it could be a dozen things that's wrong with it. Until a person does a fuel system pressure test, you may end up just chasing your tail and using the parts cannon. Oh, I got to change the plugs. Oh, I got to change the injectors. Oh, I got to change this or change whatever. So now, if you email me asking technical help on a CIS fuel injected engine, if you have not done a fuel system pressure test, that includes a flow test and a pressure test, then I can't help you. I'll get back and say, you got to do a fuel system pressure test before I can advise you on what's wrong with your engine. I'm holding the correct fuel pressure tester for a CIS Bosch injection system. These are not readily available. Not all testers that you see on eBay or Amazon are going to work with CIS. It has to say Bosch CIS. But the problem I'm finding is that, number one, almost all of these that you buy don't work right. Okay? Since setting the fuel pressures is so critical on these engines, why go out and buy a system that's inaccurate? Primarily the gauge is not accurate or it leaks fuel, so you can't even do the test. That's what's really frustrating. The other thing is, people buy these systems and they have no idea how to hook it up. You've got a couple lines you've got to hook up here. Where do you hook it up? Do you hook it up here, here, over here? You hook it over there, you pull that plug, you hook it up there. So there's a lot of confusion in how to hook these CIS testers up. And, and there's a lot of confusion on what in the world you're going to do and what you should read after you hook them up. I know somebody's going to ask this question, so I might as well address it now. Hey, Ken, how come this is now the first thing you do on these old CIS engines, and 20 years ago it was the last thing you did? Well, the reason is age. It's all about the age of these engines. These engines are now 35 to 48 years old. The first CIS engine came out in 1976. They do not fare well when they sit with gasoline in the system, particularly if the gasoline has ethanol in it. It's become a challenge. The fuel system is one of the big reasons why people can't get these things running right. They'll run and quit, they'll run rich, they'll smoke, they'll cough and sputter. It's due to age, and now that these are so old, doing a fuel system pressure test is the first thing I recommend you do on these engines once you can get them running. I'm going to start by talking to you about all the problems I've had with these testers that you can buy on Amazon or eBay. They're originally be cheap. They come from China. They promise lots of things. They can do all kinds of cars, but it's really frustrating. Here's a picture of what these kits look like, and there's plenty of them all over the internet. Some of them I see on Amazon, they have like 4-star. It couldn't possibly be true. I want to start out with the biggest frustration I've had, And that's with this fitting right here on the end of the hose, the swivel fitting, that tightens down on these small fittings that you have to use when you're testing Bosch fuel injection on the K and KE-Jetronics. Watch this. You won't believe it. Okay, we're going to screw this down. Remember the first time I did this, I say, what? You screw this down. Look, it bottoms out and it doesn't even tighten up. So what I had to do is I either had to cut this fitting off here, I had to narrow this one down. But can you believe that? And that's on all of them. You'd think eventually somebody would complain and they'd correct it, but that's not been the case for the last 3 years. Okay, then you have multiple problems with leak on these wedge fittings, and I'll explain why. The barb fittings are undersized. They don't really have barbs on them. A good barb fitting, if you push a hose on like that, you should not be able to just pull it right off. And if you look closely, we'll keep going here on these fittings. If you look closely, notice that the fitting is bottomed out. Now, this is a 1/8 inch NPT fitting, and it's not supposed to bottom out. It's supposed to be tapered. So what happens is they leak here. And when you try to tighten these up, they break. But if you take them out and then, let's say, screw them back in, it's like this swells up and gets oversized because this is very weak aluminum. And you'll tighten this all the way down and it'll bottom out too. So you haven't solved your leak problem at all. Then you have to goop it up. I've actually gone to putting epoxy in some of these to keep them from leaking. Multiple problems in here. Of course, the fittings leak. The valves leak right here. The valves won't completely shut off. And this has been a big one. The quick disconnects that come with them. Oh, that's really cool, isn't it? Have a quick disconnect like that. Well, after you use it about 2 or 3 times, the O-ring deteriorates inside. And that leaks. So I had to get rid of quick disconnects. And these valves on these last 10 that I got on Amazon, 8 of these valves were bad, and one literally just broke off when I turned to close it. And then we look at the hoses. They're like hard, see? So they don't have a lot of flexibility, so it's kind of hard to maneuver around the fuel distributor to get these connected. And then we get up here to this, and these gauges, I've tested these. Some of them are 5 to 10 psi off. Now, when you do a fuel system pressure test, the whole goal of the test is to get accurate fuel pressure. Well, if you have a gauge that's 5 to 10 psi off, particularly on the D-Jetronic, you have to be within 1 psi of about 30 for accurate pressure readings on those early electronic V8 engines. And it just got to be way too much work to deal with all this. And I kept thinking, I'm going to have to build my own tester. Granted, I need to have some basic parts that I can source to keep the price reasonable. And finally, it's happened. I think I've got the solution to all these problems I've been dealing with over the last couple of years. Today, I get to introduce my brand new tester. And what's unique about this one, it looks similar, but we'll get on the bench and I'll show you some of the changes I made. But the real unique thing about my tester now is it will cover all fuel injected engines with D-Jetronic, K-Jetronic, and KE-Jetronic up to 1993. I decided a month ago if I was going to deliver a really good pressure tester for the DIY mechanic, I had to solve the problem with this fitting here. You saw earlier, just tightens right down. It doesn't even get tight. So I started looking all over the place for these fittings, and I finally found these. This is a Coline fitting made in Germany. Even with the O-ring in place, watch. This is going to tighten right down, and it's going to stop right there. So you have a good 1/16 of an inch gap to tighten those fittings down. And the barbs on these are significantly better, and of course I'm using pressure clamps at each location to prevent leaks in and around those fittings. And if we move on here to the center section, which I was really having a lot of problems with, we did away with the quick disconnect, and this one screws on by hand. So you screw this on by hand, you make sure this is really tight before you start the engine up. But what this allowed me to do was make this kind of universal, because I can attach other fittings right here that will go all the way up to like 2015. But for now, I'm just concerned about the D-Jetronic. So this comes in the kit, ready to go. You'll tighten this down like this, and you connect this to the fuel hose at the cold start injector, and you can test Bosch D-Jetronic fuel injection, okay? So in this center section, I wanted to solve all the problems with the center section. So I got rid of this. I got rid of this idea of using threaded fittings everywhere, but that's a good taper fitting right there. And then I eliminated any threaded fittings here, and we end up with some really good connections right here. And I decided I was going to have to get a really good valve, and that means I would have the valve away from this T-fitting here, because I didn't want to have more threaded fittings everywhere. So these are very good barbed fittings with these pressure clamps, and then moving it to the side. So look at the flexibility of the hoses now. These are the two ends that you'll connect to the fuel distributor, in and around the fuel distributor. Some you won't connect physically to the fuel distributor, but with the flexible hoses now, you're able to get in there and get these connected much easier. And then access to the valve is right here. So you're going to be opening and closing this when you're testing K-Jetronic and KE-Jetronic. And then up here, we've got good fittings, good sealant, and the liquid filled gauge. And this is a pressure release, which will allow you to pressure release the fuel to prevent spills once you've completed your test. This will be a complete kit that you see here. I'll also put in some gloves, some safety goggles. But the big thing is you're going to get about 7 or 8 videos with this kit. Over 3 hours of viewing, you're going to say, well, how do I do this? How do I hook it up? How do I read the pressures? What am I looking for? All that's covered in my video class, which is over 3 hours long. And that will be included at no extra charge when you buy this pressure tester from Mercedessource. The reason this fuel pressure tester is called a builder's kit is because you have to build it a little bit. Now, it's not going to be very difficult. It's only going to take about 15 minutes. And I think it's probably pretty self-explanatory. So what am I doing by this washing machine? Considering a new career, I'm just checking to see how many of you watched the full video. Because if you don't, I'm going to switch to appliance repair.